Hi everyone, my name's Dane and I am here today to talk to you about this NGK spark plug. In particular, this is the NGK 2309 part number. The other NGK part number is also LFR7AIX. We'll go over what that means at the end of this video. So looking at the construction of this spark plug, we have a 0.6 millimeter fine tip iridium. We have a tapered cut ground. So what this does is, if you can zoom in, you can kind of see that this isn't just like a straight rectangular like shape. You can see that it's tapered inward like that. And what that does, that helps spread out the spark from, like, say, here to here. So you get a little bit more spark with it compared to a standard style. Then next, we have a high purity alumina silicate ceramic that has corrugated ribs to help prevent spark flashover. This is a trivalent metal coating, so you will not have to use anti-seize with these spark plugs. So looking at this spark plug, this is a resistor type, and this is one heat range colder than factory. So the factory spark plug would be LFR6AIX, the one step colder, notating the 7 right there in this part number. That's how NGK's part numbers or heat ranges are read. The higher the number, the colder the plug goes. So who needs a one-step colder spark plug? Well, that could be virtually anyone who's modifying these cars. So if you are doing anything from bolt-ons, if you're doing it built engine, if you're making 500 horsepower, 600 horsepower, whatever it is, do yourself a favor. These are cheap. Get them. That's only going to help you. With a cooler burning plug, that's more heat passing through the engine. So overall, there is not a thing wrong with upgrading to this one-step colder spark plug. NGK also offers these with a 60-day warranty. And honestly, this is one of the most popular spark plugs that we sell for the platform. So now on to the fun part of this, and we are going to decode this part number. So I'm going to read from my notes just because it's a lot of information. So if you're looking at LFR7AIX, L stands for a 14 millimeter thread diameter, which is the width here, with a 16 millimeter hex. So you're going to need a 16 millimeter socket to pull these out, plus multiple extensions. Then let's see, after that we have F. F stands for the 19 millimeter thread reach, which is how far reach you got. Let's see, heat range 7. Then the A in LFR7AIX stands for the specific firing and construction design, aka your ground. So that's what we talked about earlier. You can see that this ground strap is tapered, so that helps change the way that the spark goes. Then lastly, the IX just stands for the fine tip iridium. That is what this plug is constructed from. You can see it, itty bitty tip right there. So that being said, now that you can decipher an NGK spark plug, you know what you need to get. Head on over to importimageracing.com. Don't drop your spark plug. Buy spark plugs.